It has become routine in October for some Christian schools to send out letters warning parents about the evils of Halloween. Halloween is simply a contraction for All Hallows Eve. The word hallow means saint, in that hallow is just an alternative form of the word holy. Hallowed be thy name. All Saints' Day is November 1st. It is the celebration of the victory of the saints in union with Christ. The observance of various celebrations of All Saints arose in the late 300s, and these were united and fixed on November 1st in the late 700s. The origin of All Saints' Day and All Saints' Eve in Mediterranean Christianity had nothing to do with Celtic Druidism or the Church's fight against Druidism. In the First Covenant, the war between God's people and God's enemies was fought on the human level against Egyptians, Assyrians, etc. With the coming of the New Covenant, however, we are told that our primary battle is against principalities and powers, against fallen angels, who bind the hearts and minds of men in ignorance and fear. We are assured that through faith, prayer, and obedience, the saints will be victorious in our battle against these demonic forces. The Spirit assures us,
"The God of peace will soon crush Satan under your feet."
The festival of All Saints reminds us that though Jesus has finished his work, we have not finished ours. He has struck the decisive blow, but we have the privilege of working in the mopping up operation. Thus, century by century the Christian faith has rolled back the demonic realm of ignorance, fear, and superstition. Though things look bad in the Western world today, this work continues to make progress in Asia and Africa and Latin America. The concept, as dramatized in Christian custom, is quite simple. On October 31st, the demonic realm tries one last time to achieve victory, but is banished by the joy of the kingdom. What is the means by which the demonic realm is vanquished? In a word, mockery. Satan's great sin. And our great sin is pride. Thus, to drive Satan from us, we ridicule him. This is why the custom arose of portraying Satan in a ridiculous red suit with horns and a tail. Nobody thinks the devil really looks like this. The Bible teaches that he is the fallen arch-cherub. Rather, the idea is to ridicule him, because he has lost the battle with Jesus and he no longer has power over us. The tradition of mocking Satan and defeating him through joy and laughter plays a large role in Ray Bradbury's classic novel, Something Wicked This Way Comes, which is a Halloween novel. The gargoyles that were placed on the churches of old had the same meaning. They symbolized the church ridiculing the enemy. They stick out their tongues, and make faces at those who would assault the church. Gargoyles are not demonic, they are believers ridiculing the defeated demonic army. Thus, the defeat of evil and of demonic powers is associated with Halloween. For this reason, Martin Luther posted his 95 challenges to the wicked practices of the church on the door of the Wittenberg Chapel on Halloween. He picked this day with care, and ever since, Halloween has also been Reformation Day. Similarly, on All Hallows Eve, the custom arose of mocking the demonic realm, by dressing children in costumes. Because the power of Satan has been broken once and for all, our children can mock him by dressing up like ghosts, goblins, and witches. The fact that we can dress our children this way shows our supreme confidence in the utter defeat of Satan by Jesus Christ. We have no fear. We can hardly object, however, to children collecting candy from friends and neighbors. This might not mean much to us today, because we are so prosperous that we have candy whenever we want, but in earlier generations people were not so well off, and obtaining some candy or other treats was special. There is no reason to pour cold water on an innocent custom like this. Similarly, the jack-o'-lanterns or hollowing out a gourd or some other vegetable, carving a face, and putting a lamp inside it is something that no doubt has occurred quite independently to tens of thousands of ordinary people in hundreds of cultures worldwide over the centuries. Since people lit their homes with candles, decorating the candles and the candle holders was a routine part of life designed to make the home attractive or interesting. Potatoes, turnips, beets, and any number of other items were used. In the New World, people soon learned that pumpkins were admirably suited for this purpose. The jack-o'-lantern is nothing but a decoration, and the leftover pumpkins can be scraped again, roasted, and turned into pies and muffins. In some cultures, what we call a jack-o'-lantern represented the face of a dead person, whose soul continued to have a presence in the fruit or vegetable used. But this has no particular relevance to Halloween customs. Did your mother tell you, while she carved the pumpkin, that this represented the head of a dead person with his soul trapped inside? Of course not. Symbols and decorations, like words, mean different things in different cultures, in different languages, and in different periods of history. The only relevant question is, what does it mean now? And nowadays it is only a decoration. And even if some earlier generation did associate the jack-o'-lantern with a soul and a head, so what? They did not take it seriously. It was just part of the joking mockery by Christian people. This is a good place to note that many articles and books, magazines, and encyclopedias are written by secular humanists or even the pop pagans of the so-called New Age movement. These people actively suppress the Christian associations of historic customs, and try to magnify the pagan associations. They do this to try to make paganism acceptable and downplay Christianity. Thus, Halloween, Christmas, Easter, etc., are said to have pagan origins. Not true. Oddly, some fundamentalists have been influenced by these slanted views of history. These fundamentalists do not accept the humanist and pagan rewriting of Western history, American history, and science, but sometimes they do accept the humanist and pagan rewriting of the origins of Halloween and Christmas, the Christmas tree, etc. We can hope that in time these brethren will re-examine these matters as well. We ought not to let the pagans do our thinking for us. Nowadays, children often dress up as superheroes, and the original Christian meaning of Halloween has been absorbed into popular culture. Also, with the present fad of designer paganism and the so-called New Age movement, some Christians are uneasy with dressing their children as spooks. So be it. But we should not forget that originally Halloween was a Christian custom, and there is no solid reason why Christians cannot enjoy it as such even today.
The one enthroned in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them.
Let us join in his holy laughter, and mock the enemies of Christ on October 31st.